How are you feeling about the new album coming out imminently? Don't shy away.
I feel good about it. I feel happy that it's finally meeting people because it's a long road from recording to mastering to all of the visual considerations and then to the people.
I wanted to ask you about the visual considerations since you mentioned it. That very striking album cover to begin with. What's the story behind that?
That was done by my friend Lisa Klein. She's a Portland, Oregon-based artist, and we've been friends since college. So I've known her for a good 10 years or so. She's amazing, but our last record was her art on the cover as well, and we just thought we would continue that on. And we thought that this cover, not only is it new work for Lisa, but it kind of captures the mood of the record as a whole, we thought, and Lisa was kind enough to let us use it.
And so, speaking of the mood of the record, how would you describe that mood?
I would describe it as many moods. I personally, I don't think it's one single mood, but it's maybe not as serious as the last record, and right. Feeling maybe a little lighter.
There was I got the feeling from reading and when the original album came out a few years ago that it was almost like it just came together as possibly a one-off thing, and because you guys all had different things going on. Was it always the intention to make a second record, do you think, or is it somewhat of a pleasant surprise?
Yeah, I think me and Dan and Jonathan are very kind of go with the flow type of people. Right. So it's not like we planned to make, to be honest, we didn't really plan to make the first one either. We just kind of thought might work. And so I think we just had the same kind of attitude with this one. We just thought, okay, why not make another one? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we did end up with a full record in the end.
Yes, indeed. And was there different? How does the working relationship go between the three of you? Has it changed between the first and second record?
I don't think it's necessarily changed. I would say that I play kind of more of a producer role in this band. I was away for the initial brainstorming, musical, instrumental creation of a lot of the songs because I was already on tour with my band Cross Record and sketched out a bunch of stuff. I came in, said what I liked, said what I didn't like, kind of moved some stuff around, and then we began adding to the ones that we felt like we should go on with, and then together making some new things as well. But I like coming in maybe at a little bit of a later stage with this band after a lot of the music has been made, and then produce and contribute.
Produce and contribute. So are most of the lyrics from Jonathan?
Yes.
And as a vocalist, and you're used to singing your own stuff, so do you approach singing in a different fashion when you're singing someone else's words?
With this band, I'm able to I was going to say experiment more with my voice, but that's not even really true. I feel like I can do that at any time, but right. It is, of course, a different feeling than singing your own words because there's not so much of that emotional connection to the lyrics. initially, but then when I talked to Jonathan about them, and the music helps a lot with that getting the feeling across. But yeah, I think I just take it a little bit the same as always.
Gotcha.
But I did help write the lyrics, and I did fully write the lyrics for the first song, I Fix My Gaze. So it's a little bit thrown in there.
Gotcha. I was just going to ask you about I Fix My Gaze. It is the first song on the album, and you directed the video for it as well. Is that correct?
Stuck beneath the rock, I begin to see the beauty in it.
Yeah, I made that by myself.
And what did you do to make it? Where was it made, and where was it shot?
It was shot in a tiny town called Douglas in Arizona, and I just happened to be, it's a long story, but I found myself on this property in Douglas for a little while, and it's about 30 miles from Bisbee, if you know where that is. But it was actually in an old doomsday house. How do I say this? You know, a person who prepares for
Right.
catastrophic events.
Yep.
So yeah, someone built that for that purpose. So there's like underground bunkers and stuff there, and like a watchtower, and it was walled in. And I found myself there during the pandemic, and I had my camera, and I thought it was kind of perfect for this song, because the song is very much about finding freedom within a confined space. And in the case of the song, I was writing it in regards to my friend who was suffering with sickness, and he was stuck in bed, and so his confinement was, he was confined to his bed, and he really just had his mind to explore. And I thought that this walled-in weird place was kind of a good location and environment to talk about, finding freedom and happiness within walls and boundaries. I think people are going to be preparing for the end of the world until the end of the world. Probably.
I believe you're right. And so you directed that video, and then the video for Don't Shy Away, I believe Dan did?
Dan did have the idea for that one. He bought this drone online, and he was really excited to use it. So we came up with the concept of just a one-shot drone video of the drone just getting further away.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. It was obviously used the drone, and there's of course drone in music as well, and it's kind of makes sense in a kind of weird way, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
And when you were shooting it, I mean, what went through your mind when you were having that drone hovering over you like that?
I was thinking, please let this drone not fall on my face.
That's fantastic. And then there's a lyric video for, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the word.
It's Ocotillo.
Okay. And does the desert, and I get the feeling the desert kind of seeps into what you guys do anyway. How does that work?
Well, being in Austin, one of the ways that you can drive is just west, and you'll go through Marfa, El Paso, and then Arizona, New Mexico. So that way, for trips in that. So I think it just naturally is one of the landscapes that we're familiar with, and it makes its way in.
Roll me down the center line, run me through the changes, hold me in the summer light, creosote.
Now, Mr. Eno appears on the record at the end on the last track, Homing.
And so he did produce that track, Homing.
And does he play on it or add some kind of Enoism to it?
Yeah, he did some Eno stuff on there.
I heard the twinkling kind of sound, and I thought that might have been him.
We'll leave it to mystery.
Very good. So maybe describe a little bit about how the process is of creating these tracks, and because they're fairly sparse as far as lyrics go, and well, even some of the music is, but and how do the three of you kind of put together what is, who contributes what?
I don't know how people usually work, so it just seems normal to me, but I don't know what I played and what Dan played and what Jonathan played.
Right.
I would never be able to give you like a list of who played what on whatever song, because I just feel like we get into this kind of like fever state of just everyone does everything, and we have an idea and we do it, and Jonathan's sick of playing the bass, so I play it, or Dan wants me to play the drums, or then I didn't do it well, so Dan plays it. It's just like, ideas everywhere, and I think our method is just throw everything on and then take what needs to be taken off at a later date. So that's just how we tend to work.
It's interesting because the way you describe it sounds rather frenetic and kind of disjointed, which is exactly the opposite of what the result is. The music is very calming and kind of ambient and whatever. So
yeah, I think it's funny because I think one thing we do have in common, me, Dan, and Jonathan, we all appear calm on the surface, but underneath we all struggle with anxiety. And so when we all get in a room together, it does kind of, I don't know, we get into this kind of mania sometimes, and we're just so comfortable with each other, so we can really express ourselves, which is beautiful.
Right. It sounds like it's fun too. I mean, the three of you together doing your thing.
Fun. It's so fun. I really look back on recording times with the boys with a lot of fondness, and they're so great to work with. They really are. Excellent.
And so the record is out, well, imminently. With the way things are in the world, is there, what happens next?
Well, we never know what happens next at all.
That's true. That's pretty profound, actually.
You're talking to, I don't know if you know about my other job, but I deal with people at the end of life, so I am very
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah, so I tell myself that all the time, that we never know what's going to happen next. But honestly, we haven't really spoken much about that in terms of a plan, or for anything, for touring or anything like that. Of course, we live on different continents now, and I think there's a rough plan to do more music, but that's pretty much the extent of our conversations now.
And do you get much feedback from fans or people who have listened, and does it affect them in any particular way? And do they like to talk to you about it?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of feedback. We are lucky enough to have our friend Emily Lee doing
Uh-huh.
social media.
Right?
And so I don't see all of that. I just maybe you can relate. I don't I don't really like to spend too much time on social media.
Gotcha.
But I think that the things that I have seen have been really, really supportive and nice. And I look dedicating. Sometimes I get them emailed to me
Right.
instead by my friends and stuff. Oh, my dad just called me, and he said my uncle heard me on BBC Six. So
Well,
that's
there you
cool.
go. That's a beautiful thing. That's fantastic. All righty. Well, I wish you all the luck. The record is out today, tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world, and we'll see what happens
Yeah.
next, huh?
Yes. And we're doing, I don't know if you saw earlier, but we're doing 5 days of live videos starting tomorrow. We
Oh,
recorded
great.
live versions of the songs right before, literally the day before I moved to England. And they're going to be premiering every day starting tomorrow.
Cool. All right. We'll put a link up to wherever that is and make sure people know about it here.
Yeah,
Very
great.
good.
And one of us will be chatting in the chat box with people.
Excellent. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
One way to connect on when you can't get out and about, huh?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to finish my breakfast. Have a nice evening. Get some rest.
Yeah.
And have,
Thanks, Marty. Enjoy your breakfast. Enjoy your day and take care.
bye-bye.
Bye.